still got the crush. Syrup all the way when we play, you and me. Ah, what can I say? You are every man's dream, finest woman that I've seen. Take your time down the line, deeper vibes, ain't no crime. I just wanna love you, baby. Spread a little dust in the night. Help me get my mojo back, honey. We both know I've been stuck. I just wanna love you, baby. Spread a little dust in the night. Help me get my mojo back, honey. We both know I've been stuck. How's it looking? Am I on your radar still? Do you get goosebumps when we play, you and me? Nah, don't take it easy. You are every man's dream, finest woman that I've seen. Take your time down the line, deeper vibes, ain't no crime. I just wanna love you, baby. Spread a little dust in the night. Help me get my mojo back, honey. We both know I've been stuck. I just wanna love you, baby. Spread a little dust in the night. Help me get my mojo back, honey. We both know I've been stuck. Spread a little dust in the Oh, baby, baby, I believe in us. We still got the crush. Syrup all the way when we play, you and me. Ah, what can I say? You are every man's dream, finest woman that I've seen. Take your time down the line, deeper vibes, ain't no crime. I just wanna love you, baby. Spread a little dust in the night. Help me get my mojo back, honey. We both know I've been stuck. I just wanna love you, baby. Spread a little dust in the night. Help me get my mojo back, honey. We both know I've been stuck. How's it looking? Am I on your radar still? Do you get goosebumps when we play, you and me? Nah, don't take it easy. You are every man's dream, finest woman that I've seen.
How's that? All right, good. It's live. I'm telling you, it's live from start to finish, 1 hour long. Oh my gosh, with all the mess ups and everything else. All right, so what I said was, if you could read lips, good on you. What I said was, today, the pose is not the goal. The pose is never the goal. Feeling good in your body is the goal. You want to find peace in your body. You want to practice some self-love, and we'll talk about that later. But you just want to move a little bit more today than you did yesterday. And if you do that, you are golden. As I said, this is a 1 hour long practice. This is our MF practice, mobility and flexibility practice. You will be just that, more flexible and more mobile if you stick around. Stick around as long as you can. Maybe it's only 10 minutes. I hope it's longer than that, and maybe you just go through the warm-up. But stick around. We're going to do some poses that'll make you feel good today in this 1 hour long practice. It'll go by quickly, I promise. I'm Jan. Those are the dogs back there. Dwayne's doing the cameras, and at the bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. Don't hurt you. Whatever you do, don't hurt. If it hurts, you won't come back. And if you don't come back, you won't get stronger. You won't get more flexible. You won't get more mobile. Take it in little steps. You know that. Trust yourself and listen to your body. If it hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, try to breathe deeply through it. But just don't hurt yourself. That's the most important thing. All right, the word to think about today is potent. Potent means powerful, and you have the power. You are more powerful than you think. And when you're powerful, you produce physical and chemical changes inside your body that make you stronger and stronger and stronger. So believe in you, and let's get started. All right, you're going to need some props today. The props we always use: a little hand towel, a little eye shade, 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have them, don't sweat it. You can modify. And a yoga strap. That comes in handy. You might want to be near a wall. You might want to have a chair nearby for balance. Lots of ways to modify. Just think creatively, and have some water handy. That's always good. All right, come on up to standing, and let's do a little body scan while you're doing that. On a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 or whatever scale you like the doctor's office, the frowny face to the smiley face. Give how you're feeling right now a number. Assign it a number, and we'll come back to that in a moment. All right, you're standing up. Put your hands on your hips. Make your feet a little wider than hip-width distance apart, and strike that pose of confidence. Send your shoulders back. Ooh, your chest lifts. Mrs. Maisel style. Lift the chest. Shoulders are back and down. Hands are on your hip. Strike a pose of confidence like Wonder Woman or Superman. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sighing breath out through your mouth, and really sigh it out. Make it audible. You're home. Nobody's listening, maybe just your dogs, but let it go. All right, start to come up onto your toes. Come on up onto the balls of your feet. Lift and lower. Pay attention where your heels are. You want your heels directly behind your feet. You don't want them splaying out to the sides or collapsing in. If that's the case, form is more important than depth here. You want to keep your heels behind your toes. Come back to that and breathe and lift and lower. So, why are we doing this? First of all, it feels good to open up. When you open up, you feel more confident. And when we're lifting and lowering onto the balls of the feet, we are strengthening the feet and the ankles. Feel it up your calves yet? Oh yeah, they're starting to burn, and it's a good burn. Lift and lower. Maybe come up a little higher and hold on a second or two like little Barbie doll feet, and then come on back down. Lift and lower. You want a strong foundation. Breathe. All right, come down onto your heels. Aren't you glad for that? Lift your toes up and wiggle them. Give them a wiggle. And then plant your feet. Maybe bring your feet in a little bit more. Let's do palm tree pose. Lift up through your arms. Maybe it doesn't feel so great, so put a bend in your elbows. No big deal. Nobody's judging you. Don't judge yourself. Interlace your fingers, palms to the sky. Start to sway like a Florida palm tree from side to side. Chin away from your chest. Gentle swaying here. Wakes up your side body, gets your spine moving in that lateral flexion. Breathe. Oh, maybe your elbows are bent, but maybe you're saying, oh, maybe I can stretch the arms, lengthen a little bit more here. Breathe. You know, you got to look for the good in everything and make it good. You got to try to grow a little bit every single day to improve yourself, little by little, every day. Finish up. Come back to a standing position. Place your hands on your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward the back of the room so your chest lifts again. Feel that goodness there. Comfortable in your stance. Elbows squeezed toward your spine. Now push your hips forward and look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or look directly overhead, whatever feels good as you take this little back bend. Slowly come back up to standing. Exhale the air out of your lungs and take a forward fold. As you fold forward, let your arms hang heavy. Don't worry about how far your hands are from the ground. It's no big deal. Your eyes are what we want to think about. Take your eyes to your toes, your ankles, your knees are up towards your belly button. Let the crown of your head hang toward the earth. This is our first forward fold, so maybe the back is a little tight. The backs of the legs are a little tight. So put a bend in your knees. No prizes for having locked out knees. Let them go. Look back as far back toward the knees of the belly button as you can, and breathe here. Big inhale, big exhale. Sweep your arms up to the side. Come on back up to standing. Take that pose called extended mountain. Fingers lift high to the sky. Palms spiraled in toward the midline of your body, and your shoulders, drop them down. No tension there. Lengthen up. Let it go. Put a little bend in your knees. Not much, just a little bend to make them soft. And do some big arm circles. Now, your circles don't have to be huge. I know it doesn't feel good for everybody. You're not alone. Everybody has limitations. Maybe smaller circles, maybe a little bend in your elbow, but do your arm circles. As you're doing these circles, put a bend in your knees and then straighten through the knees as the hands come up. So just wake up your knees, wake up your shoulders, breathe, take your big circles in the other direction. All right, this is the month of love, right? And that's our focus, love, self-love. And does that feel a little cringy to say or to think about self-love? All right, just think about being your own cheerleader. Encourage yourself. And we'll talk about self-love a little bit later on. Come to finish, legs straight, arms down by your sides. Take a big breath in, maybe with your eyes closed. And a big sighing breath out. Time for your big coat swing. Start to twist from side to side, letting your arms be heavy down by your side and your shoulders soft. Look over one shoulder, then the other. Just let the arms hang loose. So you're going to be patting your backside, patting your hip, and just focusing on that controlled twist. If you want to challenge your balance, close your eyes. Or don't. You decide. You make it work for you. It's not about the pose. It is about how you feel and how your yoga makes you feel. Finish up. Come back to standing at the midline of your body. It's time for Ragdoll. All right. You look down at your feet. Your feet should be about hip width distance apart. That's 2 fist widths. We'll measure it when we get down here in a second. Hinge forward as you exhale. Now measure. Are you about 2 fist widths apart in your feet? Take your hands. Bring your hands to opposite elbow creases like I Dream of Jeannie arms. Little bend in your knees. Again, look back to your ankle, your knees, or your belly button as the crown of your head hangs heavy to the earth. Play with the knees a little bit in placing a bend in the knees or not. Maybe you need to spread your feet a little bit wider to let your belly come between your thighs. Nothing wrong with that. Make it work. Now gently start to sway, one elbow toward one knee, then the other toward the other. So you're kind of like maybe doing like a little bit of a figure 8 on its side with your arms dangling. Breathe. Ragdoll pose to decompress your spine. If you've been sitting for a long time, do your ragdoll pose. It really feels good to decompress your low back and your spine. But let the crown of the head certainly hang heavy toward the earth. Decompress the neck. Let's finish up. Come back to stillness at the midline of your body. Release your fingers toward your mat. Bend your knees. Come on down. Child's pose. All right. This is where you let everything go. You're warmed up. Everything's been flowing a little bit better than if you were just sitting there. Let's do child's pose where you come into your head. Knees together. Big toes touch. Hips back towards your heels. Arms down by your sides. Palms face up. Forehead comes down to either your block or to your mat. Think of your neck getting long. Lengthen through the crown of your head and drive your fingers toward the bottom of your mat. This is your classic child's pose position. An option, which many of us like to take, is the knees spread wide. Big toes are still touching. Hips go back towards your heels. They don't have to touch your heels. Just send them back there. And what happens, happens, right? Send your arms long to the top of your mat. Again, bring your forehead down to either your mat or to your block if that feels better. One's not more right than the other. What's right is what feels good for your body. Really pay attention to what you're feeling. I'm in the extended child's pose with my arms reaching toward the top of the mat. I have my block at the top of the mat, so I'm just going to work my palms up onto that block. It's a little deeper stretch in the shoulders. Maybe you like it today, maybe not. Deep breath in through your nose and a big sigh out through your mouth. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go. This is your time. Who is more important than you? Who is more important to spend time on than you? That's self-love. That's self-care. You got to take care of you before you take care of others, right? Big breath in, big sighing breath out. So in your pose, your ankles are getting a nice stretch, and we'll counter that in a little bit with toes pose. Knees are getting a good bend, quadriceps are getting the wake-up call, and your spine is lengthening. In the extended child's pose, you're getting back into the shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep your breaths long and deep. If your breathing becomes shallow, back out of a pose. It means you're stressing out too much over it, and you don't want to stress. Your yoga is to reduce your stress. Close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose if you can. This is called Ujjayi Pranayama breath, and it lets you focus on your breathing. Sound like Darth Vader in your breath. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Let's come out of our child's pose now, whichever variation you're in. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees together. Send them back a little bit, and let's do a puppy pose. To do that, drop to your forearms. Elbow under shoulder. Forearms pressed into your mat, fingers spread wide. Think of sending your bottom up, up, up to the sky. You know how when we do cat-cow, which we're going to do in a moment, when you send your tailbone high to the sky, do that here. Now shift your arms a little more forward and try to imagine your chest coming down, down, down toward your mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice stretch in the low back. And you know what? If it's just feeling tight, kind of give your bottom a wiggle like a dog. You know how, it's called puppy pose. You know how your puppy wants to play? They get down and lift their tail up. Just move your hips a little bit. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's finish up, and you'll feel that same sensation again when you come into your cat-cow pose. All right, have a seat on your bottom. Send your legs really, really long. Send them long, and you can grab your strap here or no strap at all. We're just going to reach toward our toes. And if you've got the strap, you can bring the strap underneath the center of your foot. You know, it kind of gives you help. Think of your strap as a partner to practice with. Lengthen up so your shoulders are over your hips and you're nice and tall. Back is flat. And then hinge forward a little bit, bending the hips, looking down toward your ankles or your knees, maybe pulling onto the strap. Or no strap at all. You can have your hands by your calves or reach for your feet. Little bend in your knees. Come on back up, shoulders over hips. Circle your ankles in one direction and then circle them in the other direction. Squeeze your toes toward the center of your foot and then release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. All right, let's come into a Sukhasana pose. All right, you can leave your legs long if that feels better. If you can, if you want to, bend your knees. Maybe bend just one, maybe bend both of them. For a Sukhasana pose, it's also called easy pose. What you would do is bring one foot up on top of the opposite thigh and then maybe bring the other foot up. Here, I cannot do it. I just can't bend that way, and I'm letting it go because it's no big deal. All right, you can put a block underneath your top right knee. Lengthen up here, maybe close your eyes, take a big breath in. And a big breath out. You can sigh it out and then come back to your Ujjayi pranayama breath. Let's just do some neck circles. If neck circles don't feel right, don't do them. Just lengthen up. So neck circles, just move your head comfortably over your shoulders. Hi, Esther. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Stan. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Betty. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Tim. Hi, Rena. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Louise. Hi, Mary. Hi, Tina. Hi, Rena. I already said hi to Rena, but always say hi to Rena. And Rena, how are you? All right, so you've done your neck circles. Breathe, neck circles, as long as it doesn't hurt. Those little crunchies are okay. I think everybody's got them. And then turn your head from left to right. Deep breaths, nice twists, nice turns, you got it. Bring your head back to the midline of your body. Take your right hand, lift it up, and place it on your left shoulder. Encourage that shoulder down, breathe, and look to the right and look to the left. To the right and to the left. Keep that shoulder down. Head left, head right, and then finish. Come back to the midline of your body. Put the hand back on the knee, lift your left hand up, place it on your right shoulder. When you're ready, big breath in, big breath out. Left hand on right shoulder. And then turn right to left, left to right. Just turn, keep the shoulder down, you got it. So this is getting your mind off of your backside because you are getting a nice stretch there as well. Breathe. Left to right, right to left. Come back to the midline of your body, both hands on your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest. Lift your chin up to the sky. Couple of those, chin to chest, chin to sky. Get that full range of motion movement in the neck. We've done it all. Neck circles, turning left, turning right, forward, back. Let's come back to the midline of your body. Tee out your arms. Tee out your arms and let's give yourself a big hug. Right arm crosses the midline of the body. Left arm crosses underneath. Reach your fingers as if they're going towards your spine. Give yourself a nice tight hug and then release in the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to come down and expand to the sides of the room. Nice, tight, big hug. So the right arm is on top. Let's open it up. Tee out your arms again and let's do it again with the left arm on top. Give yourself a big hug, elbows cross at the midline of your body, hands reach for your spine, nice tight squeeze, and then release in the shoulders. Send the shoulders down and send the shoulders to the sides of the room. Breathe, breathe, that's the ticket. All right, another pose with the arms. Open up your arms, tee them out. Remember eagle pose, we do this, we'll do this tomorrow. Take your right arm, sweep it under your left. Bring your palms together to touch. Squeeze your elbows down toward the earth and gaze over your fingertips. Tee out your arms. Let's do it again with the opposite arm on top. When you're ready, crisscross the arms, palms touch, gaze over your fingers, breathe. And if they can't quite reach, reach for opposite shoulders. It's all good. Breathe. Shoulders are getting the wake-up call, aren't they? Legs, let's switch them out. All right, release the arms, release the legs. Remember which foot you have on top, and then switch them out. And if your legs are long, that's totally fine. Maybe you're seated in a thunderbolt pose. What that pose is it's you are standing on your knees and you bring your bottom down to your heels, and then you just get a nice quad stretch there. But whatever it is, move. All right, switch your legs. I now have my left foot on top. You can bring the right foot on up if you like. Lengthen up, hands on your knees, and do those neck circles again. Maybe they feel a little more doable here. Circle your head around. No right, no wrong answer. Well, I guess the wrong answer would be if it hurts. If it hurts, don't do it. Breathe, circle your head, or just lengthen up through the crown of your head, allowing your shoulders to soften, whatever feels good for you in the neck. Lengthen up, big breath in, big breath out. Left hand on the right shoulder, encourage that shoulder down, and turn your head from left to right, right to left. Turn your head. Finish up, back at the midline of your body. Both hands back to both knees. Inhale, lengthen up. Take the other hand, the right hand, onto the left shoulder. Push the shoulder down and turn your head left to right. Right to left. Finish up. Head back at the midline, hands back down to your knees, chin to your chest, soften in your shoulders, chin to the sky. Feel the nice stretch in the front of your neck. Hello, Christy. How are you doing? I hope Brad is doing his yoga too. Chin to chest, let it be. Finish up. Head at the midline. Tee out your arms. Remember the big hug? Let's do it again. Right arm on top of left, elbows crossed, fingers toward the spine, soften in the shoulders, expand the shoulders wide to the sides. Tee out your arms. Now the left arm comes on top as you give yourself a big hug here. Self-love, big hugs, it's all good. Shoulders down, shoulders expand, lengthen up through the crown of your head, nice and tight in the upper back. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms tee out. Eagle arms, right arm sweeps under left, palms touch, elbows squeeze down, look over your fingers, breathe. Tee out your arms, left arm sweeps under right, palms touch, elbows squeeze down, fingers, you're gazing over them. Big breath in, big breath out. Soften in your jaws, you've got it. When you're ready, release the arms, hands back down to the knees, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up. Undo your legs. Send your legs long. Point your toes up toward the sky and flex them toward the front of the room. Point and flex through the toes. Lengthen up and breathe. All right, do some ankle circles, one direction, then the other direction. You'll be glad you did this because we're going to do toes pose next. All right, come on up. Stand on your knees. Stand on your knees with or without a block. Have the two blocks close by. You can tuck your toes to your shins, place your block behind your bottom, and have a seat. Try to bring your shoulders more back over your hips if that feels right. You know how deep you can take this. This is an intense pose, not for everybody. Perhaps you remove the block and sit directly on your heels. You decide what you like. You want to have all 10 toes on the ground. Hands can be on your thighs. Breathe here. Soften in your shoulders. This is intense. If you have plantar fasciitis or balancing, if you want to improve your balance, this is a great pose because it's strengthening the feet. It's strengthening the ankles. We'll strengthen the ankles more in ankle pose in just a minute. But you're breaking up the fascia in the feet, allowing for more mobility and more flexibility. Remember, Emma? More mobility, more flexibility allows you to move better, allows you to prevent yourself from falling, perhaps. All right, so let's interlace our fingers, send your palms to the front of the room, and just press here through the palms. Breathe. Shoulders are soft, away from the ears. Breathe. Soften in the jaws, unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, let's finish up. From your toes pose, bring your hands on down. Remove the block if you used it behind your bottom. Now bring the two blocks by your side. Let's do ankle pose. Lift your feet up, come onto the tops of your feet, and have a seat on your heels. Walk the blocks back by your sides. And maybe come up onto your ankles. Maybe come up onto the ankles as you balance on the tops of your feet. You can move your blocks back a little farther, whatever feels right, because you want to find that sweet spot in the balance. No blocks? Yeah, that's no problem. Use your hands as a kickstand. Breathe. And then here, if you want to challenge your balance a little bit, you could just bring your hands to prayer center and hold here as you stretch out the ankles. You know this is working because you really feel this one. Breathe here. Sometimes we flow this. We go toes to ankles to toes to ankle pose. Today we're just taking them a little bit separately and just breathing here. Our foundation is good and strong. Are you about ready to come out of this? Give it one last good effort. Just challenge yourself. How far do you want to take it? How far feels right? Let's finish. Come back to a neutral tabletop. What is that? Knees underneath the hips, shoulders over wrists, hands spread wide, shins parallel to each other. Lift the feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes. We did this a moment ago, but this helps with the feet after your toes pose. Circle the ankles in one direction, then the other. Then drum roll, please. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Now, Press the tops of your feet into your mat. You almost feel your core engage a little bit here. Press your hands into your mat, and let's do cat-cow. For cat pose, tuck your chin to your chest. We've done this earlier, so you're warmed up. And then tuck your tailbone under. Arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat. Now give yourself that extra little oomph by pressing into the tops of your feet and into your hands. Imagine your belly hollowed out as your spine is, or your belly button is going back to touch your spine. As you exhale, cow pose. Remember puppy? How we sent our bottom up to the sky? Tailbone lifts, crown of the head lifts. So just the opposite of your cat pose. Do a few more to your breath. Exhale, cat. Woo, push the earth away. Inhale, cow. Keep pushing the earth away and lift the tailbone and the crown of the head. So you're moving your spine like the shape of the letter C, and then a backwards C. All right, finish up. Neutral tabletop. Crown of the head to the front of the room. Tailbone to the back of the room. Cat pulling its tail. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Lift the knee up, up, up. Maybe bring it to hip height or a little higher. Draw your heel toward your bottom. Maybe this is where you stay today. Keep the weight equally distributed in both hands. To pull the tail, maybe you reach your left hand around and capture your right foot. Kick into your hand, push the earth away, and look over your left shoulder, or at least to the left side of your mat or your room. Breathe, kick, and finish. Right hand comes down, left knee comes down, or left hand, right knee. Lift your leg on up to the sky, the other leg, the left leg. Maybe just little kicks toward your bottom with your heel. Push hard into the earth, reach your right hand around and capture your left foot. Can't capture it, no big deal. Just don't quit. Try, just, kick yourself in the bottom, like I mentioned earlier. Press into the mat, kick into your hand, look to the right corner of your mat or over your right shoulder. Breathe, cat pulling its tail. All right, cats are done. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Take a cat-cow cycle to even it out. And let's give the dogs equal time. Let's do bird dog pose. All right, neutral tabletop, good starting point. Lift your right leg up. We did this earlier, but this time, extend your right leg long. Drive your heel to the back of the room. Dial your right hip down a little bit so both hips are equal distant to the mat. Push into the earth. Hold it right here. Or if you'd like to take another layer, you don't have to. Send your left arm long. Left arm reaches forward, push into the earth, push into your left foot, push into your right hand, and reach through your extended limbs. Hold it here, fingers spread wide, thumb up like a hitchhiker. Hold it here, you've got it. Variations. Tuck your right knee to your left elbow underneath your navel and stretch and tuck. Exhale and inhale. Exhale on the tucking and inhale on the extension. Hand comes down, knee comes down. You're back to what? Your neutral tabletop. Let's do the other side. Left knee lifts, left leg extends. Hips are equal distant to the mat. Stay right here. Push the earth away. Feel the compression, the strengthening of your low back. Breathe. Right arm can extend long if you like. Press into your foundational limbs. Hold it right here. You've got it. And think about your blocks. If you wanted, you could have a block at the top of your mat and place your hand on it. Whatever works for you, make it work for you. Lengthen to strengthen the spine. A few tucks underneath the navel, elbow to knee, and then reach if you like. And if you don't like, do it your way. And finish up here. Hand comes down, knee comes down. That's your bird dog pose. All right, maybe get a drink of water because we're gonna do our planks. All right, don't be intimidated by planks. We do them every practice. All right, you got a drink. How are you feeling? Do you feel a little more invigorated? You should. I bet you do. It's all a good thing. All right, so your planks. Lots of ways to do planks. You just gotta try. Here is a variation that you might want to take today. And like I said, we set a timer so you can just have a little measurement criteria if you want. I like that. A measurement criteria so I can measure my progress. Maybe you want to do that, or maybe you totally want to disregard the clock. From your neutral tabletop, send your knees back a little bit and your arms forward a little bit. And then shift your weight so your weight is more into your arms. Fingers spread wide. It helps to push a little more into your thumb and your pointer finger. It just kind of eases some tension there. And don't worry about flat hands. Kind of think of like a little gecko, kind of pushing the pads of your fingers into the mat. Just kind of alleviates some tension on the wrist and the hands. So you can hold it right here. You could spread your knees wider, totally fine. I haven't started the timer yet. I'm just explaining different variations. You can press down to your forearms, elbows underneath your shoulders, adjust your knees, shift more weight forward, press into your forearms and feel your core, your belly tighten up. You could take a forearm plank with your legs extended and hold it right here. I'm going to take a high plank, and I'm going to take a variation of the high plank with tapping the shoulders. So, enough talk. Get into the variation of plank that you like. I'm going to take a high plank. So my legs are long, heels are extended, pressing into my arms. Let's start the timer now. All right, so here's 1 minute. Hold it here. Take breaks when you need them. A break could be coming down to your knees, or it could be sending your hips high to the sky. We are well over 10 seconds in, so you've done it. Maybe take a little break. Totally fine. I'm going to start to tap my shoulders. One hand to opposite shoulder, then the other hand to the opposite shoulder. Just kind of shakes things up a little bit. You've been doing this for 20 seconds. You're the champion. Keep at it. Breathe. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Stay strong in your core. Guess what? 30 seconds. You've done a plank for 30 seconds. However you've done it. Maybe there's been 3 or 4 breaks in there. It's all good. Keep at it. Just don't quit. 15 seconds to go. Breathe. Stay strong. You got it. 10 seconds to go. 10 seconds. You can do anything for 10 seconds, especially since it's now 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. You did it. Come on down. Grab a seat, grab a drink. That's it. You did it. Awesome. Planks are so good for overall conditioning. All right, quick drink. Let's do some other core stuff. Have your strap nearby if you want to use it for your boat pose. All right, our usual 3 little Monday flexibility, mobility, core poses. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Knees open wide, hands to prayer center, lengthen up, and then come to recline. Now, pay attention to how you recline. Do it slowly and with control. And try to avoid the little clunk. At the end, roll it all the way down. Now hike your heels up more toward your groin if that feels good. And you know what? You could stay right here. You could goalpost your arms, elbows at shoulder height, backs of your forearms to the mat. You can stay right here. You're doing plenty right here. Think of your chest lifting up to the sky. You're working on good posture. All right, core sequence, like I said. If you want to join me, fingertips lightly to your temples, elbows open wide. You can breathe in and out of your mouth here to let some heat go. Exhale, let your chin go up to the sky as you lift your shoulders up, keeping your elbows back and your knees open wide. Inhale, come on down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Little lifts, little lowers. You've got it. Breathe. Breathing, most important part. Deep breaths. You got it. Now that you got it, let's go on to something else. Bring your shoulders on down. Bring your knees to meet at the midline of your body, soles of your feet on your mat. Okay, bicycle pose, your way. What is your way? Maybe you keep the soles of your feet down. Maybe you peel your shoulders up. Work opposite elbow toward opposite knee. That's one potential variation. Here's another. Shoulders stay down, knees lift, knees over hips, toes drawn toward your shins. Drive through your heels as if you were riding a recumbent bicycle. Breathe. Maybe that feels good. Keep your tailbone down. Maybe you bat them both in. Peel your shoulders up, elbow to opposite knee as you're pedaling. Maybe straighten your legs and scissor kick them, if that's what you like. And then let's finish. Stick pose. This one feels good. Legs are long and together. Toes point to the bottom of your mat. Arms are high overhead. Fingers reach. Stretch it out like a big number one, because you are number one. Breathe. All right, now it's time for boat pose, Navasana. What you can do, if you want, find your strap. Place your strap under the soles of your feet and come on up to a seated position. Now, let your heels lift from the ground, elbows hugged in, and you can hold right here, keeping your back flat. Another variation is to not use the strap. Sit back as if you're in a recliner. Chest lifts, shoulders back, hands behind your knees. Lift your legs up and hold here. Breathe. Find your balance. Balance is important. Maybe reach your fingers toward the front of the room. Reach. Maybe draw the knees in and then out. In and out with the knees. Maybe fingers come a little higher. Legs draw in and out. In and out. Maybe arms go higher still. Legs in and out. In and out. Hold the legs out. Arms nice and high. Smile on your face. Finish. All right, come on down. We'll do more of the boat pose tomorrow. What do you think? All right, hug your knees in. Heels toward your bottom. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Hollow out your belly. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale. Kiss your knees or forehead to your knees. Press the weight into just your toes. And then maybe balance on your bottom with the toes lifted. Feet come down, crisscross at the ankles. Find your 2 yoga blocks. Don't crisscross at the ankles. Come to standing on your knees. All right, knees over your hips. Blocks by your side. Let's do our lunges. This feels so good for your hips and giving you more mobility. Bring your right foot forward, knee under ankle. No, knee over ankle. That's right. Send your leg long, your left leg long. Breathe. Push into your blocks. Breathe here. Left leg is long and straight. You can press into your blocks or bring your hips, your shoulders over your hips. Hips under your shoulders. That's it. Hold right here. Nice and strong pose. You can stay right here. You can keep your hands on your hips. You can lift your arms up to the sky. So many ways to do it. You do what honors your body. Lift up, maybe look up. Maybe take a baby back bend. Hands back up to the sky. Maybe hands back to the blocks. Let's go surfing. This is fun. Half splits. Right leg straightens and then rebends. Allow the knee to come forward of the ankle, totally fine. Use your blocks however you want. Walk them forward, walk them back. As you straighten the right leg, maybe you come back towards your heel or maybe even sit on your heel. And then walk them forward. Nice stretch in the left hip flexor, which is, along the front of your hip. Breathe, walk it back and forth. Or don't use the blocks. And like we did in our ankle pose, challenge your balance by tightening through the core to allow you to lift and come back toward your heel with control. There you go. You've surfed it out. Come back to standing on your knees. Bring both knees together. Same thing, other side. Left foot forward, knee over ankle. Press into your blocks. Straighten up through that right leg. Top of the right leg down on your mat. Lengthen up. Maybe you press into your blocks and stay right here. The big thing you're going for is that good stretch in the right hip. And man, do we have it. Lengthen up. Maybe shoulders over the hips. Maybe the arms lift. Reach up. Maybe baby back bend. Hands back to prayer center. Whew, start to surf. Left leg straightens and bends. You don't have to take it very far. You decide how you want to do it. You know lots of different ways to do it. Honor your body. Everybody's body is different. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. And not only is everybody different, but every day is different, isn't it? Ooh, some days you're just not feeling it. Some days you just know it's not right to bend this or that. Honor that. Honor your body. Honor yourself. All right. Let's finish. That's about equal, right? Left knee meets right. Let's do some standing things. Let's begin with a downward facing dog. Press your hands into your mat, shoulders over wrists. Tuck your toes towards your shins. Straighten through the legs and come into a downward facing dog. Feet are hip width distance apart. Remember the measurement with the 2 fists? Same thing here, 2 fist widths apart. Look to your hands. They should be shoulder width distance apart. Fingers spread wide, gecko grip the mat. Tailbone lifts high to the sky. Think of a string attached to your tailbone. Now your neck. The hardest part, let it go. Look back to your knees, to your belly button. Let the head hang heavy and shake it. Shake it. Pedal your dog. One heel reaches toward the earth, then the other, because your heels are slightly lifted, and you want to get that good stretch in the back of your leg. Still your feet. Walk your feet up to meet your hands, or walk your hands back to meet your feet. Now you're folded in half like a paper clip. Let's sweep our arms up, roll on up, come on up to a standing position. Lengthen up here, let's do some balancing. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. It's time for tree pose, Vrikasana. Root into one leg, take the other leg and bend it. Bring the sole of that bent leg into the inside of your standing foundational leg. Heel can touch the ankle. Foot can slide up a little bit higher onto the calf, or higher still up into the thigh. Push the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. You could have a chair here for balance. Totally good, totally fine. Hands to prayer center. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Lengthen up through those loose hips of yours. You just got loosened in your surfing pose. Look up. Reach through the arms, high to the sky, and sway branches like the branches of a tree. Now, here's a little difference. Bring your arms back on up to like extended mountain arms. Remember, palms turned in, shoulders relaxed. Release the leg that's bent from the standing leg and bring the knee forward. So your knee is forward. So now we are in that one-legged mountain. Lengthen up here, hold it here. Let your arms come down and interlace your fingers underneath your right knee and hug your right knee in. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, you got it. Let the hand, I've got my right leg lifted, I'm gonna let my right hand open up through my left leg. Other hand is on my hip, I'm holding here. Now bring the leg back to the front. Arms go back to extended mountain arms. Take a big step out with that right foot, plant the right foot, all 10 toes pointing forward. Hinge forward to a warrior 3. Parallel arms like the number 11, reach to the front of the room. Little bend in your standing right leg, left leg lifts. Come into a capital letter T shape, dial your left hip down and hold. If you prefer, you could have your hands on your hips, or you could have a chair in front of you and reach and hold the back of the chair. Bring hands back to prayer center. Left foot meets right. You come back up to standing. Other side. All right, here we go. Root into the opposite foot. I'm going to root into my right foot. Left foot. Left knee bends. Left foot comes to wherever I want it to be. Maybe you stay right here with a chair. Hold on. You can always lift the other arm, right? Hold it here. To take it further, slip the foot on up. Just don't push the foot into the side of the knee. Foot and leg press into each other, creating that strong love bond. Let the knee open up toward the back of the room. Grow your branches if you like. Breathe, look up. You got it. With control, you've got it, whichever variation you're in. Bring your arms to stillness, lifting high up to the sky. Release the foot from the leg. Bring the knee forward, so the knee is at about hip height. Lengthen up. You've got it. Arms come down, interlaced fingers hug under the left knee, shoulders over the hips, lengthen up. Left hand opens up the left knee to the side of the room, hand can be on the hip. Keep your shoulders straight and over the hips. Bring the foot back to center. Arms reach up, you fall out, no big deal, get back in. Everybody fails, get back in. The sign of success is starting again and again and again. From your extended mountain, send your left foot forward. Take your warrior 3 here. Plant into the left foot. Right foot can lift just a little bit off of the mat or a lot as parallel arms reach to the front. Remember your variations. You could have a chair there. You could have your hands on your hips. Even if you got your hands on your hips, check out your right hip. Make sure it's equal distant as the left hip is to the earth. Breathe, lengthen, strengthen, stretch. And then hands back to prayer center. Right foot meets left. You did it. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Nice job. All right, you will look taller. Remember this one? You can do this against a wall. I know, Sarah, you like this. And Christy, I think you like it too. You can do it against a wall. If you're doing it against the wall, create a big letter Y in your arms. Press the backs of your hands into the wall. No wall handy. Just press the backs of your hands toward the back of the room. The wall keeps you honest because it's like, oh, that wall, where is it? It's way back there. Big letter Y for the word you. You will look taller. Big letter Y. Big letter W. Elbows come down. Squeeze your spine. 2 L's, forward and backward. Elbows hugged in towards your waist. Tee them out for taller. Tee them out and pulse to the back of the room. Let's do it again. You will look taller. Pulse them back. And obviously, if you're on the wall, you really can't pulse them. Just push them into the wall. One more time. 3rd time's the charm. Big letter Y. Big letter W. Try to keep those hands on the wall as you slide them on down. 2 L's, backward and forward. T out the arms. Squeeze them into the wall. T for taller. Let's finish. Arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Palms are facing in toward your hips. Shoulders are back and down. Good posture. Good, tall, standing posture. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Fold forward. Fold forward. Hinge at the knees. Bend at the knees. Come on down. Come on down to your knees. Let's come all the way down to our bellies. Arms reach long to the top of the mat. Legs are long. Tops of the feet toward the edges of your mat. Place your head down, nice and square on the center of your mat. Elbow, nose, forehead down. Big breath in. Big breath out, let it go. Superman pose. Take it in layers. Maybe today you lift one leg, then the other, and that's what you do. You can lift both legs up. You can add in the arms. Reach through the fingers. Balance on your pelvis. Breathe. Gaze down your nose and hold right here. This is your Superman pose. Let's take it to an airplane. Your arms are long. Sweep them back. Palms face down. Fingers reach toward the bottom of your mat. Lift a little higher through your chest. Breathe. 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 Superman. Back to Superman. Arms reach. Legs lift a little higher. How is that? Let's finish. Feet and arms come down. Hands, elbows bend. Hands under your collarbones. Press on up. Seal pose. Think of your hips expanding to the side of the room. Not a real pleasant thought, but relax in the hips. Come on up to a standing on your knees position. Once you're standing on your knees, place your hands on your low back, like they're going into pockets of your jeans. Come on up, shoulders over hips. Push your belly forward. Push it forward. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look up overhead. Support your back. Breathe. Gentle little camel pose tomorrow. In our vinyasa practice, we'll do a full camel. Breathe. Let's finish. Bring your bottom down onto your heels. Thunderbolt pose. Bring your hands to your thighs. Close your eyes. Lengthen up through your spine. Soften through the shoulders. Blink your eyes open. Send your legs long. Send your legs long onto your mat. Little bend in your knees. Might feel good. Place a block underneath your feet. As if you're standing on the block. Lift your arms up. Exhale. Reach forward. Reach forward, reach for whatever you can reach. Maybe today you're holding onto your thighs. Good on you, you're here. Maybe today you're touching your calves, your ankles. Maybe you can touch your toes. Maybe you can reach for that block. And then hinge forward as you come forward. Look to your knees. Breathe. Wherever you are, no criticism, self-love, let it go. Remove the block. Come on up to seated. Spread your legs wide. Bring the 2 blocks in between your legs. Maybe use your hands. Open up your calves. Open up through the thighs. Just do it and just have fun. I don't know how wide your legs are spread. You spread them as what is right for you. Maybe today they're a lot closer, no big deal. 2 blocks can be at whatever height you like. Maybe you rest the forearms on the blocks as you hinge forward a little bit. Maybe you place your forehead on the blocks at whatever height is right for you. Breathe in, breathe out. You got this. Nice, good stretch. Now, don't panic. I think a lot of times we get our mind in the way and we're self-limiting. Don't panic. Don't hold on. Just focus on your breath. Come back to your breath. Shoulders are soft. No tension there. No tension in your hips. And maybe it's not the most comfortable pose in the world, but I know you've done more uncomfortable things. Just breathe through it. Maybe as time goes on, you can change the height of your block, move to a half block or no block at all. And as you're ready, we'll finish up. Walk your hands back up so your shoulders are over your hips. How do you feel? Let's bring our legs back together and come onto your back. But before you do that, eye shade and towel, bring them on up toward your shoulders. All right, let's come on down, slowly recline all the way down. Let's do a reclined pigeon. We'll do a full half pigeon. Does that make sense? We'll do a half pigeon tomorrow. All right, left leg goes long, heel drives to the bottom of your mat. Get that sensation back in your left hip flexor that you had in doing our lunge. Bend your right knee, interlaced fingers, or if your arms are not quite long enough to reach under your knee, take a towel and pull your right knee in. Pull it in, hug it in, that big ball and socket in your hip. It's powerful and it's strong. Keep it moving, keep it flexible. Circle your ankle in one direction, then the other. Hug it in, hold it in. Now bend your left leg, plant the sole of the left foot on your mat, take the right leg and crisscross it so it's in a figure 4 here. So it's in a figure 4, outside of the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Maybe push the outside of the right ankle toward the bottom of your room. You can lift your left leg up, 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 letting the outside of the right knee, again, drive toward the front of your room. Breathe here, arms wherever you like. Maybe bring that left knee closer to your chest. Feel the goodness in your backside. Left foot comes down, right foot comes down. We're almost in a bridge pose. Let's push our hips up to the sky. Wiggle your shoulders, left shoulder, right shoulder. Wiggle them closer to your spine. Lift up higher through your hips. Push hard into your feet. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time, like you're planting pearls of a necklace, one at a time onto the ground. Let your tailbone release last. Other side, right leg goes long. Heel drives toward the bottom of the room. Feel the length in your right leg. Left knee, bend it, interlace your fingers or use the towel to hug it in, squeeze it in. Keep your shoulders down, eyes closed. Be at peace, my friend. We all want more peace, don't we? Those fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. All so good. Focus on those. All right, you've hugged this knee in. Now bend the right knee. Slip that heel up, up, up toward your bottom. Sole of the foot is planted on your mat. Outside of the left ankle creates that figure 4 as it presses into the right thigh. Press your hands into your left thigh. Maybe as you drive the outside of the left knee toward the bottom of your mat, you lift your right leg up. That will intensify it some more, won't it? Whew, breathe. Draw the knee toward your chest. Circle the right ankle. Yay. Circle it in both directions. Hug that knee in toward your chest. Plant the right foot. Left leg, send it long. Circle the ankle. And then finish. Both legs go long. Heels drive toward the bottom of your mat. Bend your knees. Hug both knees up towards your chest. Hands underneath both knees. elbows hugged in, squeeze tightly here, rock a little bit from side to side. Happy baby, Ananda Balasana if you like. You can keep rocking here from side to side, or take your hands, capture the insides of your heels, send one leg up to the sky, circle the ankle. Bend that knee, send the other leg straight, and circle that ankle. And alternate. One leg extends, one leg bends. You got it. Breathe. Happy baby. Love on your hips. Finish up. Both legs go high. Knees are together. Draw your toes towards your shins, arms down by your sides. With your strong core, lower your heels. Think boat pose. Lower them all the way down to the ground. Put a little bit of space between your legs, whatever is comfortable. Let your pinky toes fall toward the edges of your mat. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel, whichever you like, as we come into a final Savasana pose. Arms down by your sides, shoulders relaxed. A few deep breaths here. Let it all go. Soften the area between your eyebrows, your jaws, your shoulders, your hips, all relaxed. Big breath in, and big breath out. Big breath in, feel your chest lift up to the sky. And with a big breath out, just let it all go as you have as much contact with the earth as you can. You can stay here longer in your final Savasana pose. Or if it's time to finish your hour, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle those wrists and ankles again. Take a big inhale and reach high up overhead. Point your toes to the bottom, reach your fingers to the top of your mat, and breathe. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one hip or the other. Enjoy the getting there. Just enjoy the rolling onto the shoulder and the rolling onto the hip. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Soften in your top shoulder. In this fetal position, take a deep breath. Slowly as you're ready, maybe keep the eyes closed. Use your hands or no hands and press on up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe crisscross the legs or have them long, however you like. Remember, it's just being here is the most important part. Hands to purse center, lengthen up through the crown of your head and soften in your shoulders. Eyes remain closed as you just take this little moment of self-love and just thank yourself for showing up. That's the big thing. And just breathing through and just trying. It all begins with trying. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Blink your eyes open. You did it. All right. Took a stress number in the beginning. What was it? And now what is it? It's a lot lower, right? Okay, here's the deal. The really difficult part in self-love, I just feel funny even saying that sometimes. It's kind of cringy, right? The really difficult part in self-love is combating that inner critic that goes against your wishes by challenging your beliefs. All right, so you're worthy of love. You're worthy of all kinds of good things. But the critic inside us, we all got it, it keeps reminding us of our past shortcomings. And you can't think about that. Don't think about the past shortcomings. Let go of it. Let go of it. You are a new you. Kick that old past doubt, past shortcomings to the curb and become a new creation. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. I wish them all for you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow Vinyasa practice. We are going to sweat. Have a good day, everybody. Love you. Bye. You are full of energy today, aren't you? Have a good day. Good girl. I'm glad you're still here. You know what? This week, this month, practice. It's a month of love, after all. Practice a little bit of self-love. I mean, be kinder to yourself. Be gentler to yourself. Speak kind words to you each day as you come to do your yoga, not only on your mat, but off your mat as well. Practice some self-love. Be your own best cheerleader. And you know what? Be a cheerleader for somebody else too. Start with your friends. Tell your friends about our yoga. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them the successes that you're having and how good you're feeling. Tell them that our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. Let them come. Let them do the yoga from the privacy of their own home. And as you know, if you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's at www.316yoga.com. Practice the self-love. Work on yourself. We're all works in progress. And just enjoy this whole month of yoga and love. See you on your mats tomorrow.